When we first met back in 1996, it was in the early days of digital cell phones, and cell phones were primarily sold in brick and mortar stores. And you had a company that you'd started called Sterling Cellular. Tell us a little bit about how you transformed your brick and mortar Sterling Cellular into the company that became known as InPhonic.
So I kind of came up with this concept that I called everything wireless. That was the predecessor to InPhonic, what InPhonic became, or what ultimately became Wirefly. But the concept of kind of selling all phones for all carriers in one place where you can comparison shop them and get the best rates and understand the coolest technologies with other customer reviews and what other people thought about. This was in '97. I mean, people thought I was crazy, but of course you didn't. And the interesting kind of aha moment for me was actually we were running Sterling Cellular, which was the retail business, which I then sold because we started a test with the guy who had come into my life named Brad Latour. Just like any other lucky moment, Brad and I met at a country club at a tennis outing. And he was running a telemarketing business that was all around people dialing the wrong phone number. It was like 1-800-HILTON with an O instead of a zero. I mean, whatever it was. And I said to him, do you think you could sell wireless phones via telemarketing? And he said, why not? So we tested it. Now, at the time, you could run a store, and if the store sold 100 phones a month, it was a home run. But to run a store, you needed a big retail facility, you needed lots of people, you needed to pay insurance, trash disposal. I mean, all the stupid things you needed to do to run a store at that time, which I'm sure many companies still have to do. We could, in one desk, sell 48 phones a month via telemarketing. So it was like, this is a much better mathematical equation. So this was 95, 96. And we had just gotten into telemarketing, and the big issue was at the time the wireless carriers needed a signature on a contract to validate that the consumer was real. So what we did was we kind of took the Microsoft concept of break the seal packaging or break the seal contracts. We took wireless phones, we shrink wrapped cellophane around them with the break the seal contract. And we flew down to Texas to meet with the Southwestern Bell Mobile guys, which of course today are better known as AT&T. And they looked at this and said, this works. So we approved it, and we took Sterling Communications into a telemarketing business which went nationwide overnight with Southwestern Bell, everywhere they were at the time. And then I kind of, that was to me the, wow, you can do this virtually. You don't need to touch it, you don't need to feel it. People are starting to get to the point where they understand a mobile handset to the point where they're just willing to buy it and they want to save money.